Oh, you're dead.
No, I think we're good. They didn't hear that sound, so I think we're okay.
Oh, okay.
I think. I think you hear it? Nothing. Okay. I think we soundproofed enough. Okay. So we have everything soundproofed. We're gonna be able to do this review of A Quiet Place. It took it took 8 hours to soundproof this whole room.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole movie theater, so that's a lot of work, honestly.
8 hours to soundproof a whole. Damn, we're fast.
It was 8 hours. I mean, we had to work fast, but we had to work quiet. So, But anyway, so we did this all for you. We risked our lives to review this movie, so I hope you're happy.
Yes.
So, A Quiet Place. Very. Do you want to explain it, or do you want me to explain the? I mean, it's not really that hard to explain.
So today we're reviewing The Quiet Place, correct?
Yes,
And
that's what I just said.
so basically, spoilers ahead, FYI. So stop now. Quiet Place is essentially about another dystopian future.
Yeah, it's post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's post-apocalyptic.
These weird creatures have invaded the Earth. I don't know if they invaded the Earth. We don't really know the origins of them.
Yeah, we don't. I'm hoping we'll get more backstory in a sequel, maybe.
Hopefully, I heard this movie did really well, so they're looking at A Quieter Place, which is like number 2.
A Quieter Place? Are you serious? Is that
that's what I read that. I don't know if it was real or not, but it was.
Like,
it was like one of those like clickbaits. I was like, oh my god.
I wouldn't have any problem with it being
I wouldn't
Quieter
either.
Place. That would make sense to me. But no, basically it's dystopian. I don't know. Post-apocalyptic.
Future.
Where are they?
I want to say they're somewhere up north.
I feel like they are. I can't remember where they actually are, but I don't really think that plays much. Because
it looks like it's during fall.
Yeah, I don't think it plays much into the story where they are, but they're in the United States. But the point is, it's post-apocalyptic. These creatures are blind, but they have super hypersensitive hearing. They have hypersensitive hearing, and they can hear things from miles away. Not only can they hear things from miles away, but they're also very, very fast. And they have like these freaking super sharp claws.
Very aggressive.
Yeah,
they're very. Like my mom actually.
Yeah, they're very.
I can never say anything under my breath without that lady here.
But yeah, no, these the creatures. I was thinking when I first watched the movie that we wouldn't get a really good look at what they look like, but we actually did. And
yeah, because a lot of scary movies, they have monsters, but they never show you what the monsters are.
The biggest one that I can think of right now is when you couldn't really see what it looked like was Cloverfield. The very first Cloverfield
That's
movie.
Exactly what
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be like.
So where's my best friend?
That's what I thought it was going to be like, where you didn't get really a good look at it. But you actually do. It's at the end you get a good look. But throughout the movie, you don't really see much. At the very beginning of the movie...
It's one of those kind of things, it's like...
At the very beginning of the movie, it's...
The beginning of the movie, it's kind of like blurs and dashes and just like a hand here and like maybe like a noise there. You don't really get to see the full thing. It's like blurring across screen because they're super fast.
Yeah, they're super fast at running.
And then at the very end, it starts getting more like kind of survival. They're around, so you have to like creep around and make sure they don't hear you, and you get to see them like... You get to see more of like the backside or the arms or like half of the body. And then at the very, very end, it's when it's like the cherry on top. Mm-hmm. You get to see the whole thing finally. And it's just like...
Yeah. And it's... I mean, they look really cool. But the storyline... There isn't really much of a storyline. It's just kind of this family trying to survive.
I think there is because...
Is there?
It's like they've survived so long. So there was no story.
There wasn't really a story.
But now they have a baby...
That's true. I guess that's it. The main point is trying to. That's what really causes them to. Have a problem.
So they're living a normal life, and essentially one time they go out and their first kid dies because he steals his little toy. They told him not to. He plays it. The dad tries to save him. He ends up dying by a monster.
Yeah.
Essentially, I guess over their grieving, they want to have another kid, which I don't know why this is a good idea. After you lost your first kid.
I have no idea.
But I mean, I guess you have to like continue the human race. You know.
I guess that would make a little more sense.
I get it.
But why would you want to continue it in that time? I mean,
and then why not just have a party and die?
Exactly. No, exactly. I don't know.
But essentially, Emily Blunt, whose character is what's her name, Evelyn.
Yeah, Evelyn Abbott.
She gets pregnant and they're having another baby, so they're planning for this baby by making this little underground shelter, super soundproof. You don't know what it is because you see them down there a lot, and then she's like making all this stuff, and you're like, what is that for?
Yeah.
And because they don't talk in the movie as much, so they use sign language.
No, they don't talk much at all. They do talk. There is actually talking,
which makes this movie phenomenal because you know what's going on without them saying anything. You're just like, oh god.
Yeah, which is cool because they're using sign language.
Yeah,
they're using sign language. So a lot of the movie is either no talking and just watching what's happening, or the subtitles talking about, obviously translating what they're signing, because the average American doesn't speak sign language. So
and I think that really plays onto the whole why this movie made popular, because it's super tense, because it's super quiet. You're just in silence the whole movie. You're just like, oh my god, any noise I make feels like you could get them.
That's what I felt too.
That's what I felt killed too
watching it. I was just like trying to
eat a piece of popcorn, just like
try not to eat it too loud.
Oh god. Yeah. So any noise you make in the audience, you feel like you're gonna get them killed or get Ellie killed, because it's so intense. It's so quiet throughout the whole movie. It's so good.
It is. It was phenomenal, and I really liked the whole storyline of it. But what did you think of the performances of the actors?
Phenomenal, dude.
Fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved
for not saying anything.
Yeah, they made it feel like it was real.
Yeah.
Like I have a hard. It's just it's blowing my mind. I'm having a hard time thinking of another movie where
it just seems inside your head like error 404 not found.
Right. No, I'm having a hard time remembering a movie that I was so impressed by actors' performances. Like, it made me feel real. Like, I know one thing that comes to mind is probably Saving Private Ryan and Tom Hanks' performance in that. Actually, pretty much all of the characters in that movie were really... It felt like you were there with them.
Very emotional.
In France and Germany and... Well, actually, I don't know if they went to Germany, but France. Definitely France.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
It's been a while. I have it, but I'll watch it Actually, I'm lying. I've watched it a lot. I've watched it a lot.
Just have a good cry every once in a while.
Right, yeah. But no, this movie, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, what were the kids' names? Millicent Simmons, who was the deaf girl.
Yeah. Another thing we have.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the parents are not deaf. They're not mute either. They just got to stay quiet for survival.
Yes.
They have a deaf daughter, which I was really impressed by. Millicent Simmons?
Yeah, Millicent Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah.
I read an article over this too. They were really skeptical about bringing in a deaf girl to play the role.
Is she actually deaf?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Your phone just went off.
That was not mine.
Was it mine? I think it was. I swear, if they come kill us... Of course, that wasn't louder than we're talking, so it's okay. Continue.
Anyways.
I didn't know she was deaf. She's actually deaf in real life?
Because John Krasinski had told somebody that he wanted an actual deaf girl to play their daughter, and so they're really nervous about bringing a deaf girl on set. But they said that she did really well, and she actually blew them all away with her performance, which I think was really cool, because it's like you actually have a deaf girl on set. Mm-hmm. And I'm really impressed by the character herself, because she's deaf, so she don't know how loud she's being.
That's true.
And she's survived this long.
Yeah, the character.
Yeah, the character, of course. Not the actor.
She can't. That's the thing. It's just like she can make a sound, but she doesn't know. And then the thing in the movie, for example, the creature is right behind
literally
her.
In her booty hole. Like, it was right there.
Well, not that close.
Not literally.
But...
figuratively in her booty hole.
Yeah, which I didn't know she was actually deaf. That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, she's really...
That's pretty cool. Is she a seasoned actor? Do you know?
Don't take my word for it. It was an article. I don't know if it was a real article, but they said she was really deaf.
Is she seasoned? Or is she...
I don't think she is.
Was this her first movie?
I didn't really read much into her history. I just knew that she was... I just read about the whole conflict between her being on this movie and stuff.
Well, see, what I found interesting about the characters is that I guess if they have a deaf daughter, they must have already known sign language from before this apocalypse happened.
Yeah, so which probably means why they survived so long.
Yeah,
they can communicate
it came in handy. Yeah. I just remember that. I think
bullshit.
Is bullshit.
And
I think
this is like
bullshit.
Fuck you.
Yeah, something like that.
This is like I love you or something. I don't know.
Is it? I don't know. I know this is holding.
Holding?
Yeah, in football. Anyway, so... anyway, so yeah, the actors I loved them all. What was his name? Was it Bo Abbott? Cade Woodward. Yeah, the kid at the beginning of the movie.
Got fucking wrecked, dude.
He got wrecked, and I am sad to say
put it in
that
cartoon terms. Like if this was a cartoon, the thing came and got him so fast, his hat would have just been like floating.
Yeah, his hat would have just floated down. But that was such a perfect.
Is it weird? I was kind of like relieved that he died.
I was relieved.
Because
a little bit, and I feel bad for that.
This kid was a hazard to the whole family. He
was
would not listen. He wanted to make noise. He was running around everywhere, dropping stuff that his sister had to keep looking after him. Yeah. And I don't want to sound like the dick about it, but like I was kind of relieved that he died. Yeah. And I don't want to feel that way, but it's like, survival first,
I mean, it was, and you see it in the trailer. You do see it in the trailer, one of the trailers anyway, where he turns on that little spaceship and it starts making noise and
you're like,
lights.
Oh. But you don't realize how bad that is because in the trailer, like, what? He's just turning on a toy. But then in the movie, how quiet it is, you're like, holy shit, that's so loud.
Yeah, and
then, boom, he dies.
It comes to get him.
Yeah, just fucking wreck that kid, dude. I'm sorry, but it was just like, bam!
Yep, it comes to get him. Just right there and
there. And those little beavers, too.
Oh my god, we're just...
I don't know what it...
Squish the thing.
So there was these huge beavers making noise around the house, and you're like, oh, they're alive. Well, how are they living? And then, like, they're walking around, and then it shows you later on, they're walking in the cornfield, and just big old hand just... Boom,
yep, dead. Just squished them. Just destroyed that thing.
That's how big those things are.
God, the monsters were great. So, what did you think about the scenery? Like the set. Well, not the. I don't. Just the whole atmosphere of
I liked it.
The places they were.
It played really well into the story. So obviously they can't live in town because that's where these things are like. That's where the most noise can happen. What you're gonna run into, what's gonna go off, what's gonna happen.
Yeah. The idea is to live where the most natural sounds are.
Yeah. So they live out in this country. In this house on a farm.
Yep. Which they can grow and survive there.
I like the intelligence behind that, like the directing too, because everything they did they would not do normally. Like she didn't cook the fish like she would normally on a skillet.
Yeah.
She had to put it under like a wooden board underground.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bake it, and it couldn't sizzle, so she like wrapped it up in like cloth. They couldn't eat on plates because obviously if you like clean the little metal, they ate off little leaf lettuce like.
Cloth, I think it was cloth.
Was it cloth? I thought there was just giant pieces of lettuce.
I thought it was cloth because you can't have anything loud, and they didn't use forks and knives. Even the game board pieces were little fuzzy felt.
It was just a really intelligent, thought out movie. Like nothing was left where like somebody could be like, "Oh, why are they doing this?" Every little thing was thought out. Like walking through a house with creaky floors, they painted where they could walk without making like creaking noises.
Yep. They placed sand pathways
everywhere they walked.
Yeah,
he would refresh it every year. I guess whenever it blew away.
Yeah.
Because it was just really intelligent. Give you a history of how long they've lived there because they know a routine already.
They even gave the day counts, right?
Yeah, it was like 300. Well, it was 37 at first, and it jumped up to like.
It was 87 at first.
87, 37, 87.
It's in my mind.
87 at first, and it jumped up to like
700. I thought 700 something.
I thought it was like 300, then like 700.
I think it was like the third year of like this outbreak. I think. No, don't quote me on that.
Because babies only take 9 months to be born.
Was she pregnant at the beginning though?
Maybe not.
I don't remember her being pregnant.
They were like, "Fuck it, the town's out of condoms."
If she was pregnant, then no, because they're just
doing it so much, dude. Like they ran out of condoms, so they're like, "Fuck it, babe, I'm sorry."
Yep,
and then she got pregnant. I'm like, "Well, now we got to prepare for a kid." God damn it.
Yep. I liked where they were, where it was natural. It was
very scenic.
Yeah, it was natural sounds. Even when the waterfall was overhead, they.
He was explaining to his kid like in sign language, like
that he can talk because the sound is louder than their voices, which is cool. I thought that was interesting because that would allow you to talk.
It made you really nervous because they were screaming.
And you were like, they screamed.
They're gonna come for them.
They screamed.
But then like you realize they show like outside of the waterfall, and he's still screaming, but you can't hear anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, oh, okay, they're not going to get sliced open, so it's good. It's good. And what did you think of? I know we kind of talked about the monster, but what did you think of it as like a design?
Very terrifying.
It was. It was very terrifying.
They make these little clicking noises that remind me. I don't know if you ever played it's a PlayStation 4 game.
I don't know.
I forgot what it's called, but they have these monsters called the clickers, and they make like these little like sounds or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, and it reminded me of that video game. Those things are terrifying. So are these monsters, and I remember that one scene where she steps on the nail.
Oh my, yeah.
She drops the thing and then she goes down. And you think she's fine, but then she's like gonna go back upstairs. That thing just like walks by the door. That like scene gave me like a heart attack, dude.
That one, yeah.
She's like, and she like turns back around. And I was like, oh my god.
There were a lot of times in the movie where you felt like super concerned for the characters.
Playing on the intelligent part of directing too. The actor or the characters in the movie were very intelligent too.
Because they were very
impressive.
Smart.
Yeah.
The light system,
turning
it red when there was a problem.
The dad knew how to work on little earpieces based off, I guess, stuff he was reading.
What was that for?
What
were the earpieces for? So that the deaf girl could hear?
He was trying to help her hear. Yeah.
Was that what? That's why
when they got in the argument, he was like, she's like, it never works because he keeps going through different ones.
Yeah, and he works hard, and that was actually cool. I did like that. Something that we missed to talk about was the fact that the reason the kid at the beginning has the toys because the deaf girl gives it to him, and then once he is taken out of the picture, she's feeling so badly that she did that. She thinks her dad doesn't love her anymore because she thinks
he blames her for it.
Yeah, she thinks he blames her for the death of Bo,
the kid.
Yeah. And I thought that was pretty cool because at the end, after a whole bunch of stuff goes down, she sees how much her father actually cares about her.
Dude, I cried again.
Through how many earpieces he's been working on, how many times he's tried and failed just to help her because he loves her.
All this time she thought he didn't love her. But
exactly.
All that time he was working in the basement day and night trying to get her to hear.
Yep. And I thought that was really cool. It definitely had an emotional impact. And that earpiece is eventually what causes them to fight back against these monsters.
Yeah, because they have super hypersensitive hearing, and these little hearing aids go off like high frequencies, I guess.
Yeah.
And it malfunctions, and she puts it into a mic, and these things go haywire. They're like, oh my god, like imagine being in a really loud room, like a dog whistle for a dog, or not a dog whistle, but like those little.
A dog whistle's high pitched.
Yeah, well, it's like they make this thing like to, I guess, scare dogs away. It's like high pitched frequency.
Oh yeah. You know I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And I mean, it works in the movie, and then Emily Blunt turns into a badass.
A badass bitch.
Yes, which is
awesome. By the way, John Krasinski, well done on not killing your wife in this movie, because John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are married in real life, and there was one scene where I guess she was almost about to die. In like underwater, whenever they were like with the baby.
When was this?
So the bunker that they build, she eventually gets to it with the baby, but then like something happens where the monsters are tearing up the building on top. So water starts filling up their safe bunker, and eventually a monster gets down there.
Yeah.
And the baby's down there with Emily Blunt's character, Evelyn. And she has to carry the baby out, and she's like, I guess she's prepared to die with the baby, because, I mean, if this baby cries, they're both fucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I just want to say, John Krasinski, you could have killed your wife there, because I thought it was foreshadowing, because she was like, whatever you do, take care of them, you know, like, she was saying.
Yeah.
She was saying, like, she was going to die.
We have to do anything to take care of
She was like,
our
promise
children.
me you'll protect them.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like hinting that maybe she might die.
Yeah, maybe she's going to.
So that whole scene when the monster was, like, face to face with her, trying to find her by hearing.
Yeah.
I was like, she's dead. She's going to die. That baby's going to let out a little yelp, and boom, she's going to die. But then eventually it turns around, and John Krasinski ends up dying, trying to save the other two kids.
Yep, he sacrifices himself.
So I was like, boy, you are a smart man.
Yeah.
Because if she would have been like, babe, you're going to kill me in this movie? Like,
yeah. I love his scream.
No sex!
I love his scream at the end of the movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Maybe,
but yeah,
maybe it just hasn't screamed in a long time, and that's why it came out all weird.
That's what makes the emotional impact so big. I think with what was her name? Reagan.
Yeah.
With Reagan. He sacrificed herself, and then she finds the pieces that he'd been working on, and it's just super depressing.
And then they become badasses.
But yeah, and then they start to fight back, and I'm waiting for the second one.
Hopefully.
They better come out with the second one. This movie was fantastic. I really liked it. It was a little it was like an hour and 20 minutes, I think.
Super short movie, but it's super sweet.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
It had a nice flow to it.
Which just shows everybody you don't need a 2.5 hour long movie to make a great movie.
Yeah. It was very nice. It was a very good movie. I absolutely loved the performances of the actors, the actresses, the plot line, what the monsters look like.
It all played well together.
Yeah. And not having a background to what's going on kind of creates that mystery. It helps the foundation, I think. Like, we saw the little newspapers and stuff and kind of like headlines.
This was really well, intelligent movie.
Yeah.
Like, everything was put in there, like little hints, little things here and there.
Yeah. So I really liked it. Do you have any final notes?
If you do see this movie, do not bring a loud friend, please.
Do not.
Because that ruins the whole atmosphere of the movie.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely don't do that.
I think if I would have sat next to that guy I sat next to at
the
Blockers.
Yeah.
Unquiet Place, I would have lost my shit.
Yeah. We'll get more into that in the next one when we actually talk about that movie. But do you have anything final to say about this one? No? Well, what would you give this?
I give it a solid 9.
A 9? I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm definitely gonna give it a 10. I think it was I could not find anything wrong with this movie.
Honestly, no.
I couldn't find anything wrong with this movie. I rarely like movies that well, and I think that everything in this movie played its part. Everything worked together, and so congratulations on this done movie,
very
John Krasinski.
Refreshing horror movie, because I love horror movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's one of those movies where Jesus Christ, this movie's giving me back my sense of horror.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, 10 out of 10. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. It's still in theaters.
Yes.
I hope you have a chance to see it. It's amazing. And if not, just find this movie
and if
watch
not, when it does come out on DVD, buy surround sound, hook it up.
Yep.
Dim the lights.
Watch it in the dark. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video, and
like and subscribe. You know the drill.
Yeah. And
do it very quietly, please.
Wait. Do you hear that?
Oh fuck! I told you.
Do you hear that?
I told you.
Yeah, I know
we needed
that.
extra padding.
Yeah, I know that. You know that. Oh my god.
Run!